And we have another tough semi-final here in the women's single scull. Lane 1, USA. Lane 2, Australia. Lane 3, Austria. Lane 4, Lithuania. Lane 5, Switzerland. And lane 6 is the neutral athlete.
So much to watch in this race. You've got the veteran Caracola, the Californian, over there, coached by Peter Mansfield. There she is, the Tokyo Olympian. And the London Olympian, indeed. Tara Rigney, the flying Australian, 7th in Tokyo in the double sculls, but set to be the new Kim Brennan of Australian women's rowing. This lady, Magdalena Lobnig, was entered here in a double with her sister. Didn't work out, so she's here in the single. The Tokyo bronze medalist, coached by Kurt Treyer. Victoria Senkute, lovely to see another Lithuanian in the final, the 27-year-old, coached by Karolis Sunklodas. And there is this sensation from Switzerland, Aurelia Maxima Janssen, 19 years of age. She won in the European under-23. She's rowing with Mac on blades. We'll talk about that as we go down the course, what that means if you're not quite sure, but it is wild. Tatiana Klimovic, the neutral athlete. Klimovic won the C final in the women's singles in Tokyo.
Yeah, so what Martin Cross is describing as wild is those blades used by the Swiss sculler. They're old-fashioned, they're symmetrical oars, just like you would picture an oar should look. But these are the blades, the oars of Magdalena Lobnig. Big, big race for her to see if she can secure this final place, having had to get out of the double with her sister. She looks to have improved race by race through this regatta as she becomes more and more comfortable back in the single scull.
Yeah, the Olympic bronze medalist leading out of the blocks here, but she's going to have a big challenge come down the track. Caracola a little bit slower out of the start, but we're used to sort of seeing her start that way. She's starting to wind herself up now, 40 strokes per minute. And of course the Australian, the bronze medalist, who moved into the single scull over the last couple of years, has really been a sensation.
We're riding with Lobnig there, the Austrian, out number 3. Great start by Senkute, the Lithuanian. Aurelia Maxima Janssen, not so fast off the start with those blades, but she rose so long, and that length of stroke, there's the Swiss sculler, does give her a really good middle 1,000 metres. She was competing just 10 days or a couple of weeks ago in Krefeld at the European under-23s, which she won. A lot of racing this young girl's doing.
Yeah, a lot of racing, but she is a real racer, isn't she? I remember watching her in Zagreb at the first World Cup, where she led the whole way, got sculled through at the end and picked up a silver medal at her first World Cup and looked absolutely gutted that she hadn't got the gold.
But look at this lead Tara Rigney has as they're coming up to the first 500-metre marker. She's really holding it up there. She's on 35 strokes per minute, but comes through in a time of 1:50 with about half a length on the rest of the field.
I'm going to ask you, Sarah, how does her time to 500 compare to Caroline Florines in the previous heat?
Thought you might ask me that. 1:45 was Caroline Florine. So
wow.
About 5-second difference, although I think we are seeing an increase in those conditions now. I'm not just saying that because I'm Australian, but the big Serbian flag at the end of the course is well and truly flying now, and I think we're getting almost a straight crosswind here at the finish line, so the conditions are picking up. They're moving into more of a cross. I think we'll start to see the lane draw have an impact here on the coming races.
Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? We're sitting here at the finish line and we can feel this tailwind, or this crosswind almost coming straight into our faces from the far side of the course towards this near side of the course as you look at the pictures.
Lobnig out of it at the moment, the Olympic bronze medalist, and Austrian rowing could really do with an Austrian qualifying directly for the Paris Olympics. Their performance director, Robert Sen's, done such great work. We'll see an Austrian men's 8, which is fantastic. They've entered an 8 here.
But look at the push coming here from Caracola over on the far side of the course. She is the fastest moving boat on the course, 35 strokes per minute, and she's winding in the early race leader with every stroke. But you can see on the water there exactly how gusty it is. There's some really punchy gusts coming across now as this breeze starts to pick up. This is going to get really tricky for these scullers in the second half of the race.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it'll get tricky for the Scullers on this side of the course. I think over there for Caracola and Tara Rigney, they're looking pretty good. Great scull from Senkute. She went out early. She went out with Lobnig, but it looks like Lobnig hasn't quite got the endurance to keep going and hang on to that third place. So I can't help thinking Senkute is going to be looking pretty good here coming through the 1,000. And I just wonder where another challenge might come from.
So through the 1,000 metres, it is Tara Rigney in first place, Caracola in second, Senkute in third, Magdalena Lobnig just hoping to build her confidence in that second 1,000 metres. In fifth place, I think that's the Swiss Janssen. She's 4 seconds off. That's such a tough ask from that lane in these conditions.
And Tara Rigney under pressure now from the American to her left, the Lithuanian to her right. Her rate's down. She's on about 32, so it's looking a little bit sort of longer and slower, a little bit heavier than certainly Caracola at the top of the screen, who takes a look across. She's up at 35 strokes a minute, really keeping it moving.
Yeah, Caracola making a really good move here, like you say, Sarah. 35 strokes a minute. She was in the quad back at the London Olympic Games where she got a bronze medal. Now she's using that experience to apply this pressure on Tara Rigney, who looks like she's sculling really nicely, really tidily. But you can see from that graphic she's doing it at 32 strokes a minute, and we're in this tough third quarter right now.
Yeah, it is a really tough third quarter, and Tara Rigney going for a medal here, being pressured by the Californian on that far side. She's had it tough in America for the Tokyo Games. She had to get through Jevi Stone, the Rio silver medalist, and it's still the Lithuanian Senkute in third place, lane number 4.
Yeah, we see her here, Senkute, gritting her teeth, hanging on to that all-important third qualifying place. She looks like she's got it pretty solidly, and in fact, she's really still doing ever so well, I think, to keep pressure on Tara Rigney, who's responded to that move from Caracola and held her.
27-year-old Senkute won the B final in Lucerne this year. We didn't see her in any other race, but she is a revelation from that lane 4. That'll give hope to the Lithuanian women's double, who've also got lane 4. Lobnig not able to find it off the back, and maybe the other scullers have just decided to keep their powder dry for the semi-final, although I can't imagine Aurelia Maxima Janssen just paddling in the way she races. Senkute sculling out of this world. What is she doing up there?
Yeah, fantastic scull over here from the Lithuanian sculler. She is really in there, 36 strokes a minute, doing a fantastic job from this lane over here. Caracola, you can see that bow ball has just gone in front, and here we go, coming down, about 300 meters to go, and it's very, very important to secure the best possible lane for the final. And you can see it, Caracola has just got that bow in front. Senkute also coming back now on Tara Rigney.
Yeah, the American and the Lithuanian, they're up on 36 strokes per minute. They're keeping it moving. The Australian stuck down on about, she's been on sort of 32 through the guts of the race, on about 33 now. So she's really going to have to get moving if she wants to move with Caracola here, who's up on, still on about 36 strokes per minute. The Austrian stepping to 38, desperate to get herself back into this race.
Yeah, Lobnig there, she's in 4th place. I can't see her getting back onto terms, but Tara Rigney has somewhere to go. She's got rate on her side. She's at 33 strokes a minute, but she needs to start using it right now if she's to get back that half length that you can see and not get overhauled by Victoria Senkute here.
There we see Caracola in lane 1, the American getting another qualification for Jose Verdonschot, the American chief coach's team. And she comes up to the line ahead of Tara Rigney, who's under pressure from Senkute. I think Rigney is just going to hold the second place. I look back and I can see Janssen, the neutral athlete, Klimovic.
It's very, very close, actually, as it is on the line. Oh, the Australian sculler just stays ahead in that second place. That was tight.
Called it, Greg.
You were confident, Martin, as we see there. Yeah, Lobnig just comes across the line, and then we will see the Swiss sculler in front of us. But Caracola, fantastic performance from her. Used all her experience. Tara Rigney, you can see how much that hurt. She might think about changing the gearing to make it a little bit easier, give herself a little bit more flexibility. And for me, this was the scull of the race, really, from Victoria Senkute, who really was able to put good pressure on, and I've got to tell you, it does feel like she had the worst of the conditions for sure.